Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to Bose Nail, Justin Duso, Joseph Pizarro, Samson, Maris, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Neo the One, Lost Cat FE, Rob W, Open Minded, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Mike, Muted, Dick Earth Skeptic, Chris Hillman, excuse me, N.A. Literalist, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Rob H, Nathan Thompson, The Real Gabster, Windrider, Liam Nedrick, Erwin Jennisons, Abraham Mohammed, Dave Rakia Gafford, Naibai, Adrian Quintana, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Fireball X, Felix Hung, Texas Mike, Edwin Johnson, Kirsten Smith, Alexander Main, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now raise the mic on whoever is in Discord and G+, and you can enjoy their conversation while I set up for today's live show.
I gotta get back on there and ask them. I didn't even bother paying attention because I figured I'd just ask Nathan himself, but he has no idea about it. I'll go back on and ask them again.
You would think you would remember if you did something like that.
Well, he said, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, okay. But supposedly something with 2 Harvard students. They debunked the globe, in other words. We'll see. I mean, we debunk the globe every day, don't we, Flatzoid? Man, good morning.
Good morning. Right. Hey, Flatzoid.
Yeah, I was just telling Flatzoid that on 24/7. I jumped on this morning and the guy was like, Neil, did you hear the good news? Great news. 2 Harvard students debunked the globe. I'm saying to myself, gee, we debunk the globe every day.
Yeah. In fact, they debunked the globe because Dr. Becky got on yesterday. Flatzoid, that was awesome, man. You and Brian jumped on quick.
Well, she's still avoiding me.
Well, she's avoided me since over a year ago. Almost
all
2 years now.
Pseudoscientists will avoid you.
I mean, if she can't even get inertial forces right, I mean, really, how do you get a PhD?
All you got to do is listen to the first part of the video. I know we're not moving. I mean, I know we can't feel movement. I know it seems stationary, but really, we're moving.
Oh, yeah, gee, thank you.
Oh, using the car analogy with the windows up and then with the windows down. And I mean, give me a break.
Friction doesn't exist in her universe, that's for sure.
No, I mean, I feel movement in the car with the windows up as well as with the windows down.
Exactly.
I mean,
you
I don't know.
feel movement in a plane when you're flying. You feel movement.
Yeah.
I mean,
we know, but they got to use some analogy to come close, and that's the one they got.
I mean, have you ever been in a train before while it's moving?
Yes.
You know how it feels when you're trying to walk to the opposite side of the train.
Sure.
You can feel it. It's not like you can't feel anything.
Yep.
That's how I know I'm on a train, because I feel it.
I don't know. It's like we have super senses or something.
I've been on a train in California. I've been on a train in Europe. I know I'm on the train because it's moving.
Even on a bus, if you walk in the back of the bus, you feel it. You know what it is? They used to come up with this, well, the earth is so big that you don't feel the movement, but you're moving.
Yeah. Well, I responded. Hang on, I got to read my post. I can't remember exactly how I responded. I know something about the bullet and all that kind of stuff. Hold on. Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's why I brought up inertial forces. Just want to say thank you, Nathan, for yesterday. I've already got up like 53 subscribers just today.
My pleasure.
Oh yeah, we were at least I was given the title of being on the Nathan Oakley Goon Squad.
What?
They said I was a Goon Squad member.
That's a compliment.
I said Goon Squad. What Goon Squad? We're just trying to ask good questions, and you guys keep avoiding them.
That is a compliment.
Yeah, well, even the people on Dr. Becky's channel also claim to be engineers and everything. And I said, okay, let's talk about it. No, I don't go to Nathan Oakley. I don't debate flat earthers that, running away.
Yeah, they're scared. Let me ask you a question. What's the problem with right to hand? Piss me off.
But before we go there, do you realize I never brought up Nathan Oakley? They know Nathan Oakley. So yeah, I think we had a discussion the last 2 days about if your channel's getting out. I think so.
Yeah, Nathan Oakley's name rings bells all over.
Okay, I found that. I found my saying. So I wrote my first comment was, so no Earth-based Coriolis affect them because we're not moving. However, Neil deGrasse Tyson says the field goal was assisted by Earth turning, or sniper bullets, or pendulums. Thanks, Dr. Becky. Dr. Becky versus Neil deGrasse Tyson. 3 smiley faces, or laughing faces. Please make up your minds, please. After that, we got 16 comments.
Yeah, it's like Glober versus the Glober.
Nothing like a hostile witness.
I know, it's great. Moving or not moving. Moving or not moving. It's like, the Daisy thing. He loves me, he loves me not.
I mean, she even had to put in there, space is a vacuum. I was like, really?
Oh, that was great. And the reason you wouldn't feel movement is because in the vacuum, there's no molecule, so that you wouldn't feel movement. And at that point, it was like, well, what about gas pressure next to a vacuum? I mean, you could go so many places with this thing.
So I was just going to say, if space is a vacuum, then what's their answer for the sun?
They don't have
gravity.
Answers. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, just go listen to the video that she put out. The beginning is ridiculous. She's totally contradicting their position. But basically says, because I have a PhD, believe me, that's the gist of the whole thing.
Exactly. Just because she's got a PhD, you must just believe everything I say, even though I'm contradicting everything I'm saying while I'm saying it.
Exactly. And then
what do you call that? Appeal to education system? Appeal to authority?
Authority, yeah. Brian came on too. He put a good remark. Let me see if I can find his. Okay, here it is. Brian comes on and goes, once again, she is wrong, LOL. According to Kepler's Analemma, the globe Earth is constantly changing its rate of motion as it makes its way around the sun in an offset elliptical orbit of said sun. So the whole video is not only wrong, as we are not spinning, but the lady doesn't even know her own ridiculous model. You could not make this up, Brian.
It's also the MO of a confidence trickster.
Yeah. Who's tricked themselves?
She's making money.
She's just parroting what someone with a higher PhD told her.
Hopefully it's not Tony.
Right, it's everything she learned in school. Okay, and she's making good money now, looking at computers and declaring things.
You can't have her position and then at the same time in her position say snipers are affected by Earth turn. I mean, sniper bullets are affected by Earth turn.
But that's what she read.
That's what I'm saying. She's parroting. So,
did you say you wanted? Did you say you wanted to ask me something, Neil?
No, obviously you have no idea. So I was going to go back on 24/7 and ask them exactly what they were talking about, because I didn't even bother really listening. Had something going on. I figured I'd ask you yourself. Something about 2 Harvard students debunking the globe. I was like, we debunk it every day. But they did something with a magnet. I'll find out the details and let you know. I think Nathan Thompson was involved in it too.
Could be the confusion between Nathan Thompson and me.
Well, what was that about?
Well, as I said, I don't know anything about it when you asked me just before we went.
Oh, confusing Nathan Thompson and you? Oh, I got you.
Well, they debunked the globe themselves. Look at Virus yesterday.
Yeah, that was painful.
Well, once you guys left, I jumped on Discord with QE, listening to Oakman. They're talking about decimals and factors. And Akamvaris actually agreed that if the gas is with the tall values, if you had to put it with a 760 over 1 instead of just 760, there's a huge difference. So he actually had to agree that it's impossible for space to be, because they like saying the pressure gradient, so you're not going to have a big difference. But just with the math that he showed him, it would be a huge difference between the two.
Difference in...
And I don't know about the math. I wasn't part of that discussion, but
difference in pressure. So you just didn't say it.
Still doesn't answer the question. How do you have gas pressure without a container?
You don't. It's required.
You can't, yeah.
This is the good thing about some of these discussions before they go into the weeds, is that you hear all the little tricks of the trade over the years they use, and it's always moving off of the actual question. It's always answering some other question that was never asked, but it's closely related enough to where they bring it as an answer to the original question. And so then we just have to be listening and say, no, I didn't ask about conservation of momentum. I asked about Coriolis. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. 10th, does your tea get cold? No, how big is the cup? Does your tea get cold? No, but where is this cup?
It's funny, I'm drinking tea right now and it is getting cold.
So he says conservation of momentum over a moving body. That's what he said yesterday, Virus.
Angular speed.
But he read the definitions and didn't even realize what he was reading.
Yeah, moving under planes? Wow. But that's not what I said, even though he just said it 2 seconds ago in his citation.
Now, they keep asking me for a model. Of course, I don't have a model. I just know what I know. But I keep hearing on this show that they don't even have a model. But so how did they get off asking anyone for a model?
Yeah, their model is a bunch of conceptions.
So on today's show, I'm going to go through a few other people to plug. If it's okay with you guys, I'd like to go through them now, just so you... No offense to you, Flatsoid, but I was like, what do you think of Authentic Intent? Yeah, it's really good. That was kind of all he got. And I listened back to it, and I'm like, man, we could have talked a bit more enthusiastically about Josh. But obviously, I sprung it on you yesterday. So today, now, I'll go through who I'm going to cover, so you can at least ponder on a few comments, hopefully, to make about them. Is that okay?
Now I feel bad.
Don't feel bad. I sprung it. It's my fault. I sprung it on you. I didn't tell you who I was doing in advance. And the reason I didn't was because one of them was you. So, there's method in my madness, but it just meant that as a direct consequence, Josh didn't get as good a shout out, which was a bit annoying, but it's just one of those things. I'll plug him now. Go and subscribe now to Authentic Intent. Said it wrong. This isn't going well. Let's try that again. Go and subscribe to Authentic Intent. Anyway, the ones that we're going to cover today, I'll have to give a disclaimer for one of them, because it's burned fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. Do any of you guys already subscribe?
Yeah, that guy's awesome. He's one of my long-time followers on my page as well. He's definitely worth a watch. He likes doing demonstrations as well. Very to the point.
To the point with very coarse language. So I'll mention that in the live stream when I plug him, because I just don't want people going there and You know, well, maybe it gives it away by his title to this video: "Sci Wanker Dan destroyed by another flat earther." He's doing a video about Debay, so Debay's address of Simon Dan, I assume. But you know, his title might give it away. Maybe I don't need to point that out. But anyway, so that's "Burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth," and I'll stick a link to his video. I might as well do it now because it saves me doing it when the live stream starts. So I'll do it in this order. Burn fat till my stomach.
So he should have. So he should have some kind of parental guidance.
Yeah, exactly.
On or something.
Yeah, strong language warning, something like that. The other one's Demarble. So I think I picked his video when he's reflecting on, where he's reflecting on his laser experiment, quote unquote, from about a year ago, or maybe it's 2 years ago. I forget. Anyway, he's
done it.
He did it about a year ago. And anyway, he's reflecting on it in the video that I'm going to share, and he's basically saying, he's talking about the people talking about it, but that's this particular video, which is called "Flat Earth, Lasers, Lunatics and Liars." Good title. So that'll be someone else to ponder on. A few nice words to say about Darryl
I'll
Marble.
shout him out. He's an OG in Flat Earth anyway.
Yeah, man. D-Marble's ace. I mean, it's another one where it's like, I want to include some that have got a good number of subscribers, i.e. more than me. So, because in the same way when I was twerking for subs, I'm saying, look, even if you've got a smaller channel, you may have people that aren't subscribed. Well, the same applies the other way around, right? D-Marble's got more subs than me. But does that mean that everyone who's watching me knows who D-Marble? No, it doesn't. So can I grow his channel? Yeah, I can. So that's precisely why. And, same goes for Jaren and Math. And, I'll try and not just include people who haven't got a great following. It's like, well, just because D-Marble's built a good following and worked really hard on his channel, does that mean he shouldn't get shouted out? No, absolutely not. If anything, it should mean he gets shouted out more. So there we go. There's D-Marble. That'll be the other one to ponder. And, oh, man, you won't need to ponder this one because I'll just eulogise about him. Is that the right word? Eulogise means when they're dead. That's not eulogise about him. Let's praise him. Dilly Gill.
He's not dead.
Dilly Gill, right, is by far away my favourite YouTuber. He's just excellent. I couldn't say enough good things about him. Obviously, if you guys want to pipe up about Dilly Gill also, should really ask first. You subscribe to Dilly Gill?
I'm subscribed, yes.
Yeah. How can you not be?
Because he's only got 2,000 subscribers, and it's an outrage, really. The amount of work he puts in.
Well, one thing I have realized, there's something going on, because every time I get like 5 subscribers, then 2 goes missing all of a sudden. Then I get 1, then there's 2 missing again. Then I get 3, then missing 1. So you never know. With me, with the little subscribers, I actually realize it. But if you got so much subscribers, I don't even know if you're gonna realize it's happening or not.
I'm subscribed to just about everyone you've ever shouted out, but in my reality, I don't watch every video that comes from these channels. I got so many other subscriptions and other topics that the day gets full.
Of course you don't. I mean, I'm subscribed to hundreds of channels. Can I watch every video from every? Of course I can't. There's not enough hours in the day for just my own subscriptions. So you don't need to. That's not really the point. I realise that even with my own subscription base, I've got to appeal to them with good content that they are going to click on, and often they won't. That's just how it goes statistically. So don't feel like you need to promote anything negative. In fact, keep a lid on that.
No. I was just saying that I'm subscribed. Like when you say this is a good channel, subscribe. I usually just do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend rubbish channels when I'm picking them. Although today I just did it alphabetically, but I did obviously scan over at least 24 channels that I'm not promoting. And why? Well, I'm picking ones that I watch. It's like, who do I watch? Darryl Marble, brilliant. Yeah, I can promote him. He's good. There's no way I'm going to be concerned about sending someone his way and them not getting good content. They will. In fact, that's true with everything I'm sending out there because I'm watching it. In other words, if I like it, there's a good chance you'll like it. I'm not just going to recommend somebody just because they've got content or because, I don't know, I can't think of any other reason other than I like it and watch it.
You're probably gonna have to make a list at some stage with all the subscribers you want to shout out.
That's what I'm doing. That's what this is.
No, but I mean, post a list somewhere.
They're just coming out 3 or 4 at a time in video format, so this will get trimmed out like the ones all of this week have been done. Could I rattle them all off? Probably couldn't remember the list. Let's see how well I get on. Taboo Conspiracy, Arwin, Martin Leakey, who was the second day, Jeranism, Math Powerland. Already struggling. You see, I can't even... Huey. And there was one other, Chris Berry.
Bible literalist.
Yesterday it was Bible literalist. And who did I shout out yesterday? Flatsoid. Who was the third one? Who was the third one?
Flatsoid, Bible literalist.
And Intent.
Authentic Intent, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel bad now again.
Exactly. So we can't even remember them after doing them recently. But these are literally people who, when their videos pop up, I'll be watching them. Some of them I'll participate in the chat. Some of them I won't. So, for instance, Bible literalist. The level of chat is often beyond me. There's more intellect in her chat than I've got to offer. So I don't say anything. I know when to not say anything. There's no point. So I don't chat. I put it on. The family sit around. We all listen. But I don't chat. On the other hand, Authentic Intent's channel, I'll sit and chat all day because he's interacting with the world, and it's an excellent chat to interact with. So I'll often interact with Authentic Intent's chat room when he goes live out and about, as he does, but I won't necessarily interact with Paula's. So some of them have got a very high level of chat feeds going by and people leaving comments left, right, and centre. Others don't. And really, if you're a YouTuber, you just want everyone to comment, everyone to participate, everyone to join in. And the more people you've got on your channel, i.e. if I send people from my pool of people subscribe to me to someone else, then there's a good chance that they may be of the ilk that will comment on those videos where I may not. And that's a shame, really. I'd love to be more up on the historic topics that Paula covers. I'm just not. I'm just not as well researched. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. Quite the opposite. I'm more proud to shout out somebody who's better at me. This comes back to Dilly Gill. Gives me goosebumps. As soon as I bring up Dilly Gill, you can probably hear it in my voice, right? As soon as I bring up Dilly Gill, his research is so good and time-consuming. And I couldn't do it. In terms of debate, when it comes to the subjects he's covering, I debunk what he's covering in 3 sentences. The sky's not a vacuum. Can't have gas pressure without a container. It's so easy to debunk the notions of space, which he's covering in the form of NASA. Well, that's all well and good in debate. Does that cover the subject? No. Do I want it covered here? No. I want to kill it. But it doesn't mean that there isn't a need for someone like Dilly Gill to do precisely what he does. And I love it. I watch his stuff over and over again. I'll watch his videos 2 or 3 times. And, of all the people I could give the most high praise to, he'd be it, man. I'd just say, look, if I'm recommending stuff based on what I watch, well, Dilly Gill, I watch them and then I watch them again immediately afterwards. So I don't know how much higher praise you can give someone, really. I think Dilly Gill is so ace. Can't sing his praises enough. If people, I'm going to demand it during the live show. I'm going to be like, if you don't go and subscribe to Dilly Gill right now, you can unsub from me. You can all sod off. I won't say that because I don't mean it, but you know what I mean. Everyone should be subbed to Dilly Gill.
Please be. Yeah, he's definitely worth it. And it's got so much content, you're definitely going to love it.
Yeah, I agree. It's, like I say, when it comes to... He's even invested money, so he's putting out Freedom of Information requests, or FOIA requests, to get various footage from NASA, so he can study it unedited, and he just documents it all. This is what I've asked for. This is what they've refused to give me. So it goes on. And then he pulls apart the stuff that he has got. And he's only asking because he's got holes in the information that he's presenting. And he's like, well, they could have an answer to this if I had the unedited video. Let's request it. It's a few $100s, so off he goes with his own coin, requests it. So you just think, it's like Jaron used to do, but to 1,000 times more magnified in terms of the level that he goes to. But very similar to Jaron used to do 2 or 3 years ago. If anyone was watching Jaron back then, he'd do similar things. He was doing Freedom of Information requests also, but not necessarily the in-depth research. I'm not knocking Jaron. I'm praising Dilly Gill in this.
Yeah, Jaron was one of the guys that brought me around too. He's one of the videos when you're searching around looking for videos, it was Jiren, Glowbusters, D Marble, all of those guys.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. One last time, if you're new to the channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Neil, 10th Man, Flatsoid, Brian, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So, first and foremost, welcome, one and all. And Chocolate.
Hey.
Marhaban.
Good morning.
Shalom.
Up Chocolate.
Right, so the first thing...
Go
on.
No, I was going to say, who was that foreigner from South Africa speaking?
That's Flatsoid. He got a plug on the show yesterday.
Do you like my review?
Yeah,
my Arabic.
So, before we get into the housekeeping, as I've been doing all this week, and I may do again in the not too distant future, we'll see, is plug other YouTubers who I like watching. And we've been discussing this in the pre-show because yesterday's plug didn't necessarily have the meat that I hoped it would have. It was very short, but hopefully that won't be the case today. So I'm going to do them in reverse order in terms of the one that will get the most talked about versus the one that maybe get the least talked about for reasons that we'll go into now. So the first recommendation, as a bit of a language warning, is going to be burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. Now, you can probably tell from his title that there's a bit of a strong language warning going on with this particular YouTuber, but he's definitely active. He's covering, in this video, Eric DeBay's coverage of Simon Dan. So this is his take on that particular back and forth that had been going on. So check out Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth. I don't know where I've got this queued. Do I dare risk playing a bit of Burn Fat? Will I immediately get demonetized? It's worth it for my fellow flat earther. Let's do it.
Enough to melt the perpetual snow and ice.
Oh, it's Debay.
Thomas Winch plants. Vast extent.
Oh, it's all Debay.
And the sea and jet.
Taken at exactly 7:30 a.m. from the exact same location. Is it some
It's just
serious
covering
flatter?
Dan. It's just a kind of cover of Dan's video. Not the best pick by me, although probably the best pick at all, because it doesn't have any of burn fat swearing. So that's probably no bad thing for my particular channel. But nevertheless, the first link in the live stream chat, which is members only for the chat, but you can still view it if you are watching. Indeed, the same goes for the replay, is to burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. Go over to his channel, subscribe today, and let him know I sent you. So put a little comment that says, Nathan Oakley sent me. So before we move on, any kind words or encouragement for people to go over, subscribe, and leave a comment that we sent them there about burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. Go.
I have to shout out beep, 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 and to say beep. I'm just joking. He's actually an awesome guy. He's worth a watch. And yeah, just know you have to put some parental guidance ears. Don't let your children really hear what's going on. But he's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, in the right place.
I'm subscribed to him, and we chat back and forth, and I love his channel name, and he does good work. Really good work.
Indeed. So one last plug. That's burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. Is the first link in the live stream members only currently chat, but you can still click on it if you aren't a member. Become a member today, though. Nathan Oakley 1980, of course. So yeah, so check out burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. Let him know I sent you. Next is Demarble OG Flat Earth. So this particular video is about his contemplating and reflecting on people's views and comments of his laser test that he did about a year ago, and he's just mulling it over and discussing it with the audience as he does his thing in the very cool way that Daryl does his thing. So he's a very cool character. You can't really cover how cool Daryl is without over stressing it. He's about as cool as they come, but nevertheless he has exceptionally good content. He talks about flat earth, obviously, and he's doing things. He's actually out doing things practically, and in this instance, although he's not actually doing the thing in this video, he's actually discussing his thoughts and feelings, other people's discussions about the topic of his tests and how they got on, etc, etc. So that's Daryl Marble, or D-Marble I should say is the channel name. So go and check him out. It's D-Marble. He is the second link down in the live stream members only chat stream, so check him out today. Any kind words to say about cool as a cucumber, Daryl?
Oh yeah, yeah, I got one. He's very spirited and he's level-headed.
Boom, boom.
D-Marble is ace. D-Marble's ace, down to earth, very good content, flat earther all the way. Check him out. Worth a watch.
You won't go wrong watching him. His data is actually very accurate. He does very good research before he actually posts something. So it's definitely worth a watch.
He's a sharp guy, well researched, as I say, very practical. If you do go and subscribe to D-Marble, which is the name of his YouTube channel if you're listening rather than watching, let him know I sent you. So just say, Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me here, subscribed, excellent work, keep up the good work, whatever positive comment you want to leave him, but just let him know that I sent you. Him, if that makes sense. Sent you his way, that's the one. So that's D-Marble, check him out. Last but by no means least, far from, this is probably my favourite YouTuber. So this is Dilly Gill, and I before I launch into my over-enthusiastic praise of Dilly Gill, I'm going to ask you guys, because I've already got my goosebumps and I'm starting to lose my ability to speak because I'm so keen to get into it, but you guys go first. Say anything positive about Dilly Gill, then I'll plug him.
Dilly Gill is ace. All his work debunking NASA is ace.
Dilly is Gill. No, he's actually very good. He's got a lot of brilliant content. You'll be entertained for hours. That's one thing for sure. Because as soon as I know if I start watching something, I have to watch till the end. I won't be able to stop halfway.
Okay, hopefully that's enough from the panel. Of all the YouTubers that I spend time watching, I spend more time watching Dilly Gill's videos than anybody else on reflection. Normally I'll watch them and immediately watch them straight after, all the way through. And they're lengthy videos, so I'll spend considerable amount of time in front of his videos. And every time one comes out, I'll be the first there giving it a thumbs up and saying, it's not going to be a bad video, let's face it, so might as well get an automatic thumbs up. I don't typically give people automatic thumbs up on videos. In fact, I don't give anybody automatic thumbs up other than Dilly Gill, because I know it's going to be brilliant before I've even got there. As soon as it's released, it makes me very excited, as you can probably tell if you're listening to this. So, although I joked in the pre-show that, like, if you're not subscribed to Dilly Gill, then how dare you be subscribed here, but I wouldn't want to discourage people from being here, obviously. But by the same token, I do definitely want to almost insist that everybody watching right now or watching this after the fact goes immediately, not a little bit later, go now and subscribe to Dilly Gill if you haven't done already. Again, please let him know that I sent you. Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, or words to that effect. If you do end up getting suckered into one of his videos for a solid hour, which is very, very likely, then let him know that it's quality content. Give him a bit of encouragement. But I can't praise him higher than anybody else. I mean, he's my top YouTuber. Dilly Gill is fantastic. So if you're not subscribed to him, please go immediately. Click the subscribe button. He is the third link down in the members only live stream chat. Doesn't matter if you're a member or not. You can click on that link. You can go and subscribe and leave him a comment and say, Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. You will thank me later. I promise. So I'll just round out with Dilly Gill. So that's him. There is a link in the live stream chat. And I'll summarise the other two that I also plugged on this particular little bit. Shout out to Tony Schuler for joining as a penguin. Thank you very much indeed. So first and foremost, burn fat till my stomach is as flat as the earth. As Flatsoid says, a little bit of parental guidance might be needed, but he definitely is worth watching. I spend a long time sat in front of him, chuckling away, sometimes at the foul language, but nevertheless, it's content that matters, and he's got good content. Next, we've got D Marble. So again, second link down in the live stream chat. So go and click on that link. Go and subscribe to him if you're not already, and let him know we sent you. Last but by no means least, Dilly Gill. Subscribe today. I insist. Anyone want anything before I move on to housekeeping questions?
Well done. Well done to shout out and promote the community.
Cool. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as Earth curvature?
Not from a non-rotating surface.
Well, they throw away their sphere edge, their horizon, their curve, and their refraction. So, what do you have in the end? Nothing.
No.
Any evidence of axial rotation? Hey, Adam. Hey.
Have we ever
No
had
evidence.
Have we ever had evidence for it?
Afternoon, guys.
Well, according
Adam.
to hey Adam,
Adam.
according to Dr. Becky, there is, but we never feel it or see it.
Then
Same
how is
Dr.
that
Becky.
evidence?
Hold on.
I don't
Dr.
know.
Becky,
Same
hold
Dr.
on. Sorry, did you say Dr. Becky said there is rotation, but we never see any evidence of it? What about the 15 degrees an hour turn of the Earth that he claim happens as we rotate underneath things not attached? That's a 15 degrees an hour
Well,
drift. She says that we don't see any evidence. What about the drift that they claim we see?
Well, that was my
We don't
thought.
feel any evidence.
Yeah, but when I commented, what about the sniper bullet and Neil deGrasse Tyson's football? Boy, the chat room lit up that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I put on straight
Going-
this morning.
Sorry, guys.
I put on
10th.
straight this morning.
Sorry, hold on one second, Brian. So let me get this straight, 10th. You went into Dr. Becky, who's claiming there's no apparent evidence that proves we spin. You wouldn't tell. And yet you're citing their own side's high priesthood and their claim that Earth turns underneath snipers' bullets, and you're being told that you don't understand what you're talking about when you cite their hostile witnesses that completely discredit what she's saying.
Exactly. And I even said Dr. Becky versus Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, this is worth pondering. This is definitely worth pondering. So Dr. Becky needs to be told more that she is in direct contradiction of the claim that we like to pummel. And that's that you have 15 degrees an hour turn of the Earth underneath stuff not attached to cause apparent deflection. That's drift, things drifting away. Not because they fly away, but because you turn underneath them and therefore they appear to fly away 1,000 miles an hour on the equator. Ergo, you'd throw a ball in the air and it would drift away 1,000 miles an hour as you turned underneath it. Exampled by Neil deGrasse Tyson's football. Gets kicked from the ground into the inertial reference frame, and the Earth is claimed to turn underneath so that the goal is made by the Earth turning underneath, moving the goalposts. Of course, that would mean that if you were watching the game from the blimp, you'd have Earth turning underneath the blimp, and that doesn't happen. And we like it to be very clear that you're claiming we do see drift, if you're a glober claiming we've got proof we spin, so that we can point out that we don't. What's this Dr. Becky clown telling people there's nothing apparent when you're supposed to have 15 degrees an hour drift? Is she backing Simon Dan's idiocy?
I just posted a screenshot of Master B. You can see it.
Let's have a look. This definitely needs pondering on. It seems we've now got two hostile witnesses who are standing in contradiction of one another. Becky says you can't see anything you wouldn't know. And Neil deGrasse Tyson not only saw it from the stands, he tweeted about it, having seen it with his own eyes, according to him, to prove it. So, Becky, you've got a big problem here, and we're going to make sure you know about it. Go ahead, it's on screen, 10th.
So we've watched the video. actually arguing the point of Earth turn. Well, we don't feel it. You can't tell it's there, but it's there. So basically, just trust me, kind of a statement. So I wrote, so no Earth-based Coriolis effect then, because we're not moving. However, Neil deGrasse Tyson says the field goal was assisted by Earth turning, or sniper bullets, or pendulums. Thanks, Dr. Becky. Dr. Becky versus Neil deGrasse Tyson. Please make up your minds. And then the blah, blah, blah. Asinine flat earther alert, get a life, 10th moron. There's a lot more under that, though. And then Brian,
so that's
and
their
Flatzoid.
answer, an ad-hom?
Yeah,
that's okay by me. No problem. The fact that they haven't been saved by their commenters isn't surprising. Yeah, the Becky commenters aren't going to save you. We are going to be pointing this out and juxtaposing your claim that there's nothing to see here with Tyson's claim he saw something here and tweeted about it. That's a big problem. Either we have Earth turning underneath at 15 degrees an hour, as claimed by Tyson and Foucault, or we don't, Becky. Which, I don't mind which sword you die by. If you tell us that, well, no, there's nothing to see, well, there's nothing proving we spin. Or you say, no, we do absolutely have 15 degrees an hour as the Earth turns underneath stuff not attached. Then that would shorten flight times. So, Becky, it's time to pick a poison to die by. And we're going to be the ones to force feed it to you. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
1 second, Nathan, before you go on. I just want to...
Go ahead, Brian. I noticed one of them was your comment. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was actually being a bit rude. Sorry, Tent. I stepped in on Tent, what Tent was saying to you. I actually put her straight on something that she was wrong about with her own model. It's from the same direction as what Tent is doing, but it's more directly connected to the model. She stated in the very start, within 1 minute 28 of the video, that the Earth is spinning at a constant rate and moving around the sun at a constant rate. That is not right, according to Kepler's analemma. The globe Earth is constantly changing its rate as it goes around the sun in an offset elliptical orbit. So she didn't even know that. She just gave an average. She just said that it moves at 670,000 miles an hour or some nonsense like that around the sun. But the truth is, it's constantly changing its speed in accordance with that model.
Yes,
I just posted your remark on Master B2, by the way.
I did. I had it up on screen. I had it up on screen. I'd also like to point out that YouTube, one of my commenters and probably lots of people's commenters, was quick to point out that what you've just described would give us speed changes. And like on a waltzer, that's what you feel. You guys, I heard while I was in the kitchen making a cup of coffee in the pre-show, talking about trains and such like, and how you can feel the motion. Well, it's the inertial change that you feel, and what Brian's just described would give us that, and you'd notice.
Yeah, that's what I brought up as well, inertial.
Well, that's why they have to say we move in at a constant speed, because we don't feel any of that.
Chocolate, if you're going in a car driving 60 miles an hour straight and you do a sharp right turn, what's going to happen?
Speed change, you're going to notice.
Exactly.
Spray. Right, as it's Becky related, this might get trimmed out in the same section. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
No, Becky still hasn't supplied Tent with one over a year now, so I don't think there's going to be one.
So on this subject, I got a email from a guy called Kyle Brown, who was pleading with me to get a different show for him to attend to debate, after telling me that he's going to reify models and base his presuppositions on observations he wants to discuss with me. I was like, yeah, you can suck my nuts. If you want to come on, you can come on at 3 a.m, Snowflake, because he lives in, I don't know, somewhere that's at 3 a.m. Anyway, back and forth emails with me explaining to him that he doesn't know what science is and he's got pseudoscience. I'll just read his last email. Okay, Nathan, it's clear that you're not interested in learning, only twisting others' words to fit your personal definition of science. So, we'll cover these things afterwards. For example, the main assumption that this mathematical model uses is that light travels in a straight line, which is only approximately true due to refraction. Interesting. This does not assume the shape of the Earth. You've just put those words into my mouth because it fits your beliefs and narrative. The mathematical model is just a tool. The science then comes from plugging the actual observations into the model and comparing its predictions with reality. I'll leave it there. Anybody want to address any of that?
Where do we start?
What comes first, observation or maths?
Wow.
Did Adam hear that? Clearly not. we'll end that little segue by saying models are pseudoscience. Science is based on observation of phenomena, formulation of hypothesis, that would be a scientific prediction, followed by systematic experimentation to prove or disprove your alternative hypothesis. That is science. Models and your comparisons, they're not causal proof. They're merely your comparing of your pseudoscience model to something you observe. And you absolutely will be assuming an R value in your model. I absolutely guarantee it.
Yeah, science is qualitative, not quantitative.
Yeah. What causes what? Not how much of what in my model.
The most interesting part, the part that got me straight away with that, was the very first thing he opened with was projection. He said, "It seems, Nathan, that you're not interested in learning." So straight away, he was telling you that you're not interested in learning. Yes, you're putting him straight on what he's incorrect about.
Yeah, it's also divining my thoughts like Mystic Meg with a crystal ball. Oh, you know what I'm interested in, do you, Mr. Psychic? Yeah, correlation is not causation. And what he wants to do is correlate observations with a begging the question proof of nothing model of a globe Earth, and also, although I didn't read that section of the email, hold it up in false dichotomy against a flat Earth pizza pan that he's going to compare it to with the sun's assumed distance on a flat pizza. That's what he's going to do. He's got a false dichotomy and several reification fallacies, all rolled into one. When I point out he doesn't have the slightest idea what science is, models aren't it. He tells me that I don't know what science is. Okay. Yeah, like I said, this guy's apparently it's a bit late in the morning for him, 3 a.m. to come on the show, which is now for him. It's like, I don't care. Do you think I'm suddenly falling over myself to get some PhD student arse licker to come on? No, you've got no weight or clout here, you complete clown, and you don't know what science is. Speaking of science, any scientific evidence of gravity?
None whatsoever.
Sorry, but how do you have scientific evidence of a concept that's based on a concept that actually debunks reality?
You can think of it as being a force. What about any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
12 kilometers.
No.
Any evidence of the R value? Earth radius?
Black Swan.
How did they get the radius in the first instance?
They reified the horizon to a physical geometric sphere edge. I've got Mr. Sensible in my comments at the moment asking me about Mage. No idea what that is. But from what I glean, it's utilising the horizon to claim Earth curvature. And Mr. Sensible himself has gone over an argument where he actually conceded that based on the lack of geometric horizon, quote, at best you would have debunked the radius. But yet this man's coming and telling me that the reification he is now falling victim to again is somehow proof that we have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon, formerly known as Earth curve. Nah, you're well aware of the Black Swan now, aren't you, Mr. Sensible? Why would you be asking me to look at Mage? So I can reify the horizon into a sphere edge? I tell you what, think of a bouncy ball or a basketball with a flint just behind an edge. Is that what you think the horizon is, Mr. Sensible? Because we debunked it with the Black Swan. Do you have a short memory? At best, you would have debunked the radius. Ding, ding, ding. Hello.
Yeah, that was classic.
Well, his radius is elastic.
He's a complete idiot. With a short memory.
Yeah, Mage is Mr. Sensible's balloon project. Apparently, he's done it twice, and everybody's all gushing it like he's some kind of flat earther doing something new, and everybody's claiming, of course, that has the evidence for curvature, blah, whatever, and then it basically comes down to, why aren't you looking at this? Why aren't you looking at this? That's basically the strategy.
Is that why he's in my comments?
To look at
it. Yeah. That's what he's saying to me. Why aren't you looking at my stuff? Why aren't you reacting to me? It's like, yeah, clearly you want my attention.
He put a balloon up.
Bless him. And we can debunk it in a couple of sentences. In fact, we can debunk it in 2 words. Black Swan.
He thinks lens distortion and compressing that lens distortion is curve. You know, the oldest book in the Glober's arsenal.
So he thought he caught curvature from a balloon.
Yeah.
No, that's
let me check. Let me check my calendar. Is this 2020 or 2015?
I think it's 2015 in his mind. He's forgotten all about the Black Swan. He's got his flux capacitor, gone back in time to when everyone on all sides used to reify the horizon into a physical geometric sphere edge and then argue about whether or not it's bent. Yeah, we don't do that anymore, shockingly. Not since 1st Jan 2020 Black Swan. Let's think of a quote that might be pertinent. At best, you would have debunked the radius. Yet that was based on its lack of geometric physicality, Mr. Sensible, you complete idiot. Such a short memory. Hey.
Yeah, but Nathan, they all seem to be going back to 2015 for some reason.
Yep.
That's okay. Yep. They're so much faster to pummel now.
Mr. Sensible is like Hoggle in the labyrinth. He's just helping everybody back to the beginning of the maze.
He's just recycling the arguments, that's all.
Arguments that we destroyed.
Yeah, it's
He's
like
trying to send everybody back to the beginning of the maze.
That's just what they want to do mentally. They've somehow forgotten, or intentionally forgotten, their rebuttals, which we now use as their hostile witness quotes. They want to erase them and just go back to 2015 and go, look at the horizon. It's an edge. Like this basketball with a flint behind it. It's just like that. What's that, you say? We would have debunked the radius based on the physical geometric horizon not be capable of being seen? We wouldn't expect to see it, yet Mage is seeing it, is it? Unbelievable idiot. That's so stupid. Ugh. Well, if you spent some money on it, Mr. Sensible, I hope it cost you a pretty penny, because I didn't even need to look at it to debunk it by saying Black Swan and quoting your own words to you. How ironic.
And he proved entropy on that balloon as well.
Did it burst and the gas filled the space?
Yes, it immediately dispersed into the available space.
No, that's wrong. No. Thunderfoot says gas go down, go boom boom, like bouncy balls poured in a fish tank. Surely it didn't expand in all directions to fill the availability of volume in line with the second law of thermodynamics. This stuff goes down, go boom boom with gravity. Like solid, bonded bouncy balls poured by fundy idiots called Thunderfoot into a fish tank. That's what happened, isn't it? Right? Second law doesn't apply to the Earth, right? Or is it that these clowns have a model that violates the second law of thermodynamics when they assert that the sky is a vacuum, and therefore they need to assert that gas behaves like solid bonded bouncy balls?
That's why they have special natural laws for their atmosphere.
Atmo, that's air. Sphere, that's a fundamentalist religious presupposition that everything's sphere-shaped, including gas, which fills the space it has to fill.
I know, but that's what their natural laws apply to. It's up
their
to
natural
you to
law.
figure that out.
Their natural law, eh? Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
It's the natural law of their model.
What do you mean by that?
Well, that it is natural law within their conception, in their model. It only really applies to the model, see? Where air can be assumed to be spherical shaped and the Earth is assumed to be a sphere.
It's a conceptual natural law. That's
I was
nice.
just gonna say, so they have a concept, and in that concept, to have natural law work?
No, Neil.
Well,
No, Neil. You. What you're asking is why the contradiction in terms? Why natural? That's nature, and conceptual. That's not nature. Why are these two things in the same sentence? No, you don't have conceptual natural laws based in models of heliocentric sphere Earths flying around in vacuums in violation of actual natural laws. They apply to nature. The model's just a model.
That's why my favorite quote is from Sir Arthur Ennington. If your theory is found to be against the second law of thermodynamics, I can give you no hope. There is nothing for it but the collapse in the deepest humiliation.
The heliocentric model stands in direct violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
That's what the Globers are doing right now. They're collapsing into the deepest humiliation.
And I can give them no hope.
To the beginning.
I kind of agree with Arwin a bit. They not. They do have natural law. It exists. It's the same natural law as ours. It is integrated into their model, except the obvious contradictions are either not addressed or addressed with the magic gravity word. No explanation, no real substance behind why it allows that contradiction to just address with, yeah, but gravity, like with the gas pressure and without a container. So it exists there, but as a contradiction that they will try to avoid and dodge, a bit like the...
You'll be held to task, Adam. You're going to get... Oh, hold on, Adam will get it in the comments unless I correct this. No, that's not strictly true. So they do have some supporting evidence when they assert this gravity is a useful magic trick, or however you phrased it. So this guy called Thunderfoot asserted that gas go down, go boom, boom, like bouncy balls poured into a fish tank. So if unbonded gas behaves like solid bonded bouncy balls, then that's evidence, isn't it? Thunderfoot says so. I mean, these people are idiotic, but...
well, I suppose if you can prove gas go down, go boom, boom, it would be useful, but...
I can. I pour, what I do, hold on, I can.
That's the thing.
I just pour solids into a fish tank and just say that that's how gas behaves. It's really easy. And people who watch, if they're really thick, they won't see the stupidity nonsense that's being asserted. And they'll go, oh, right, gas behaves like bonded solid bouncy balls, does it, Thunderfoot? Wow, you're so smart. You say you got a PhD? Well, then you've got to be right. It's no way on earth that a flat earther could just quote natural law to you and make you look like a complete clown. Oh, my bad. That's exactly what happened.
Well, he did say imagine, right?
Imagine. Yeah, because it's conceptual, and that's their demonstration of their imaginary medium with an imaginary force being thought of as a force. And the way you think of it as a force in that instance is to make unbonded gas bonded bouncy balls. I mean, these people think they're physicists. They're actually mental. Shout out to Tip of the Day for joining as a penguin. That concludes the housekeeping, by the way.
What's really good about their current description of gravity, which is the theory of general relativity by Albert Einstein, is that his description of gravity works a whole lot better on the Flat Earth Society flying pizza model than on their globe. It actually fits it perfect, like a glove.
That's no coincidence.
Shout out to Brian Cox.
Well, there's no coincidence there. They need two things in the controlled opposition Flat Earth Society narrative. One of them is gravity, and you've just covered that, so I don't need to recover it. The other, well, there's three things, actually. The other is space. So where's the pizza pie flying up through in the controlled op Flat Earth Society narrative? Well, it's flying up through space, isn't it? So space... Right, what? Second law of thermodynamics violation in a flat Earth narrative? That doesn't sound right. Oh yeah, that's because it's not ours. It's just the controlled opposition putting out their nonsense. The third thing they need, back to Mr. Sensible, they need an edge, don't they? So that whenever an edge comes up, a bit like a basketball with a flint behind it, that kind of ball edge that they're asserting the horizon is, well, they need that ridiculed so that no one ever pays attention to the fact that they're actually claiming boats go over a sphere edge. So they have a pizza pie edge with water falling over it, and what do you know, a boat falling over it. So while they simultaneously claim with Earth curve maths, that would be a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator, that boats are going over a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon formerly known as Earth curve, They also assert it in the controlled op narrative, with water falling off the edge of a pizza. Shout out to James Richards. A global lie is beyond self-contradiction. Maybe I've read that right. I should really bring up the chat on my the screen so I can actually read it.
No, you got it right.
No, I did get it right, yeah. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat, James Richard.
Nathan, you mentioned something that the controlled op, the Flat Earth Society. Something I've always had a problem with that model that they try to equate is they've got their pizza disc going up at 9.8 meters per second, but not accelerating at 9.8 meters per second, because that would be a rate of acceleration that the Earth is constantly, therefore accelerating. I've never understood.
I thought it was.
That's a big clearing hole in there.
Hold on. I don't know if you're right on that. Can someone double check this? I thought it was 9.8
No,
meters per
I'm
second.
pretty sure that it is eternally accelerating.
I was going to say, I think so. I think it's
theory of relativity makes it all right. Kind of.
I think it's 9.8 meters per second, Adam. But I could be incorrect, and you might be correct. If you are, I'd like to be corrected, because I always say 9.8 meters per second squared. The G value is, I thought the Flat Earth Society just had it going up at a speed of 9.8 meters per second, not an acceleration. Oh, right.
Per second.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
That wouldn't do anything.
Well, if anyone in chat knows, I'd happily be corrected. But I always thought that was another issue, because otherwise you've got this accelerating Earth at 9.8. Now, it might be starting at 0 this second, but in another second it's going to be going 18 meters and then 27 meters. Yeah. Now the rate of acceleration is still the same, but the overall speed of the Earth has to therefore increase over time at that rate of 9.8 meters per second. That's the rate of increase, which would mean, yeah. So I've always
because otherwise it would reach momentum, and then there would be no apparent gravity anymore.
How long to get to the speed of light if you're going at 9.8, an acceleration rate of 9.8? So you were going at 9, then you're going at 18, then 27. How long before you reach the speed of light?
Not long. But it's controlled on narrative as opposed to the actual, it's got to be punted as being conceivably correct. In many instances in the Flat Earth Society narrative, things are in there specifically to be debunked.
Well, the thing about that
is from the old days, where when I look back and you first exploring it, and you don't know that they're a shill society at that point 5 years ago. It doesn't take you long, and that's one of those things that I'm like,
until you come across Thomas Dolby and him and his membership for Flat Earth Society, and then you see him doing a little disco for the guys at NASA. You know, you got Buzz dancing around to what's this song about science? Blinding You with Science. So you can see Buzz Aldrin dancing along with a member of the Flat Earth Society doing the music. And you go, is this not blatantly telling? Nathan, you are welcome. You gave me $10 to say you're welcome. Well, thank you very much indeed, James Richard. It's very much appreciated at the moment. Not going to lie.
No, but Adam, I think you're mistaken, because I'm pretty sure that they did have the acceleration, a constantly accelerating system that they would justify by saying it's all relative, because it's basically constructed on top of Einstein's conceptions. That's what that system, they just turned it into a disk going in one direction instead of it being a ball and then all being so complicated that people can't even explain it anymore. That's the difference.
Adam's being called by one of my chat members. I love it. Rob H says, "Speed of light, you say, Adam?" Question mark.
Yeah, fair point.
Why is that a fair point? Just fair point's not going to cut it.
Okay. Well, what is that? The speed of light? Could somebody verify that for me? But
it sounds very Einsteinian, doesn't it?
Yeah. The point I'm making is that eventually it's going to get to an obscene figure if that's a constant acceleration, and I will not use that C value. I take it back.
Okie dokie.
The Albert Einstein, the story goes that he actually looked at the Flat Earth Society model when he was creating his, or around the time when his theory of general relativity had come out or was about to come out. But the thing about it is that 9.8 meters per second squared was added to that after. There's no. I don't not saying that you're saying it, but he didn't add that to that. There's no evidence that he added that to that. You know, I couldn't find any evidence. I looked at where that actually originated. That actual model, I believe, I can only say I believe it originated with Einstein himself. That's actually from him, and the 9.8 meters per second squared is something that was added afterwards. Just kind of harking back to CV boys, you know, and Cavendish.
I have a question.
I don't know if Einstein did it himself, though. I
was
don't know,
gonna say,
but it definitely feels like it was inspired on it.
You're just speculating. I didn't call Brian on that. I could have, but I'm not going to. But yeah, you're right, Arwin. You said you had a question, Neil.
Yes. Is this theory of relativity, has it been proven?
No.
Not a theory.
No.
Not a theory.
Yeah,
it's not
it's not
based
a-
on science.
It's a mind
What's the problem
experiment.
here? So I have a disconnect.
You might as
So
well-
do they.
Why are we on
That's
about
the
this?
point. That's exactly what it's designed for that disconnect. It's a concept.
Might as well ask if Nostradamus theories have been validated. It's not a scientific theory. It's not empirical. It's a mystic Meg theory.
They had to create the concept after finding out that Earth is not spinning.
So wait, what you're telling me is bullshit.
It's just not it's not
yeah.
validated scientifically. And they're using the word colloquially when it's a scientific terminology to confuse their audience. So you hear the theory of and go, all right, validated empirically then. Because theories in scientific vernacular are based on validated experimentation that's been based on a hypothesis, that's based on a phenomena that you wanted to know the cause of. And once you've got your validation, i.e. you guessed the cause correctly, varied it to see if it caused it, and it was repeated again and again and again, then you can form a scientific theory. Well, this isn't that. This is a colloquial mystic Meg Nostradamus theory. There's no science in it. What's to validate? Cue the violin music. Woo!
Yeah, all they did,
In Brooklyn, we call that bullshit.
yeah, all you had to do was try and make a story up because of the Michelson and Morley attempt. That's all. So you had to try and make something up for the globe, and that's where it came from.
All I do now is that in the last 100 years or 80 years something, people, I don't know, say, yeah, there's this great theory of this person, that person, and we might be able to prove it someday. Now, the fact that they are literally saying it like that is already preposterous. It's just, that's what people now think. The words have been discontorted from their original purpose and meaning, and it's become this nonsense soup now.
Spot on. It's the wrong way round.
Yeah.
We've got a theory, we might prove it. No, that's the wrong way round in scientific terms. No, you've got a phenomena you want to study. You assume the cause, varied it, proved it caused it, and then formed a theory. Not, we've got a theory, we might go forth and validate it. It's based on validated systematic experimentation. That's what your scientific theory is, but they've used the colloquial terminology to paste it onto some nonsense they've made up. There's nothing to validate, literally. Another shout out to James Richard. Wow, big spender today. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the support. So, speed of light. To detect the speed, wouldn't the device being used have to be faster than the speed of light? Question mark. Again, part of a mystic Meg. But thank you very much for the super chat, James Richard.
No, but not true though, because the speed can be deduced. It doesn't mean that an object actually has to go that far.
You reckon it's got a speed? You reckon it's got a journey?
Well, light does journey.
I can
you
debunk the whole lot now.
Does it?
From its arrival time, what the supposed speed is. With objects moving that speed, however, how are you going to achieve that speed? That's the problem.
What is light?
Yeah, you've asked the ultimate
So where
question.
were all the-
Hold on.
hold on.
Flatsoid's
Where were all the
Flatsoid
scientists?
asked the most pertinent question. Repeat it again.
What is light?
We have no idea. We've got so
Energy.
limited an understanding of what light is, it's unreal. If you look into how much we know, you find out how little we know.
The issue with
energy, and it has no mass.
Where were all the scientists when Einstein was coming out with this theory of relativity? Where were all the scientists? Because now from that, then you get this string theory, and all I have is a bunch of theories, but nothing
Well, in the
validated.
beginning, Neil, in the beginning they were against it. They were laughing at him about it. They thought it was preposterous. But anyway, according to EMC squared, energy and mass are interchangeable. Even that alone debunks nature.
What's mass?
We're on to another subject now. Right, let's stick with light.
What's
Thank you,
energy?
Chocolate. Yeah, it's very related.
Yeah.
You're right.
Just on that, Nathan, you said what? Well, first of all, what's speed? Speed is distance time relationship. Now, okay with the time, but what's the distance that the light travel? How do you quantify it if it's quantum?
Right, what's its journey?
Path?
Right, what's its path? Sorry, we're all keen.
Sorry.
Go on, Adam. I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to say, is there a path that you could therefore measure to say this is the path route of, let's call it a photon? Yeah, is there a path route that we can measure? We can assume the distance between A and B, but actually, is that the route? I think quantum mechanics would suggest it's not. There's not necessarily a route.
Are you here? 10th, there's a biblical passage my uncle mentioned to me when I interviewed him like 5 years ago, and it's something to the effect of who can track the path of light. Can you remember where that's from? Say again?
No, give me a clue. I'll look it up.
I'll have to go back to my interview with
clue.
my uncle because I'm not a biblical scholar. He is.
No, just from memory. Give me a clue of the conversation.
Well, it's talking about me. I was talking about the circuit of the sun, and it was prior to me tracking the sun on a Flat Earth Live. So I was discussing it with him and saying, I want to track the path of light. He was like, well, that's a specific question asked in one of the books that's a bit more scientific in the Bible, where it's specifically asked who, mortals, can track the path of light. Now, it might be...
Okay, I'll go find it. I got it. Okay, give me a minute.
But yeah, sorry,
it's
carry
in
on, Adam.
Psalm, and it's in Psalm, Proverb, and it's in Job.
Job. It was in Job. Adam, you were saying, sorry.
No. So I'm just going on to it. No, I think that was my only point, that if you're going to assign a speed, you have to have distance and time. The first critique was on the time. How could we get the time? How do we measure it? And that's hard enough. But how do you actually get the distance?
Yeah, the other problem is that the inherent measuring tool is derived from a celestial body giving off light. So that in itself means that you've scuppered your own measuring tool, and part of the concepts that you're going to be using are Einsteinian in this example, which obviously we've covered, but the most important one Adam's gone through, which is what's the journey? It's not like it's got a little road that it moves along, and you can't detect that. Now, you can detect parts of the journey. For example, you can put a slit detector and see where it goes through, i.e. which slit it's gone through. But can you see the path up until that point? Quantum mechanics suggests it doesn't even have one.
Well, quantum racer used to use the joke of what's the speed of dark. I heard that before somewhere else as well. You know, what's the speed of dark? It's like it's as ridiculous as what's the speed of light. You know, because it's either dark or it's not dark. It may not be that bright sometimes, but it's either dark or it's not dark, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of an absurd notion when you start thinking about how you're trying to qualify it with time and distance, and then you look into actual science and go, no, it doesn't seem to have either. How are we going to qualify this when we've only got concepts that describe things based on celestial movements? We've got really crude tools.
Yeah, and you know, like a little thing, like if you're looking into a bonfire and you turn around and you're in a countryside area, you can't see anything. It's totally black. But if you keep looking into the dark, your eyesight will get better, and then the dark won't be dark. You know, so what is light in that way? If you know what I mean. I mean, how much dark, in what depth of darkness can we still actually see with our eyes?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
back when I was describing sort of stargazing, go on.
And how much are they assuming about the medium?
Oh, they're assuming all of it. They're assuming it's a vacuum when their astrophysicists describe what's up there. Burning balls of gas in vacuums.
Yeah, that's what drove me a little wild when I was a kid and I was told, yeah, those things in the sky, those lights that we see, they're big balls of gas emitting light, and then some of them aren't even around anymore, but yet the light coming from them is still on the way to my eyes. like giant light beams just flying to our eyes from the vacuum of space. Like, that was one of the most preposterous things, other than people living antipodal to me on a ball. That was one of the most ridiculous things I heard when I was a kid.
And that story has only come about because you've got the astronomical distances based on an R assumption for Earth, an R assumption for Venus, and those pushing the distances out to massive, massive scales. And then you have them making the lights themselves really gigantic because of the vast distances. And then you take their speed and their concept with Einsteinian mathematics, and you say, well, it's going to take a long time, 7 minutes for the sun, for instance. If the sun went out tomorrow, it'd take 7 minutes before you'd realise it. Oh, right. That's what they've got based on their astronomical distances, which are all derived from Kepler's third law of interplanetary motion and an assumption that Venus has the same R value as Earth and is also a rock with a sphere shape and a physicality to measure an R value. I mean, it's so many assumptions to say, oh yeah, the light's taking a very long time to get here. Some of those lights have already disappeared millions of years ago, but the light's still travelling on its way to see us. Yet in Brian's description, and I can completely confirm this, when I used to stargaze in Shropshire, you relax in the very dark conditions, and over time your eyes become more accustomed to the darkness and you're more receptive to little bits of light in the very far distance, black areas that you focus on or don't focus on, depending on how you want to look at it, and you just let your eyes relax. You'll see things appearing in the blackness that were not there before. Now, does that mean that the light suddenly started travelling and you weren't seeing it before? No, it just means your eyes have relaxed and you're seeing more detail in a very dark environment. But their descriptions of it, with things disappearing millions of years ago and the light still making its way to us, just seems absurd.
It doesn't seem absurd. It is absurd.
Indeed.
They're like giant Kamehamehas all traveling to our eyes.
Sounds like a whole lot of reverse engineering.
Get it gone!
Nathan, it's at Job 38:24. I've got a slide in Master B showing different translations of it.
More than just air. It goes on down to 31. 32.
Tenth. This is the wrong quote. It's the one with, if your theory is found to be against the second law of thermodynamics, then I give you no hope.
No, it's below that. It's below that.
Below that.
I put that one. Hang on, did I hit the right one or the wrong one? Hold on.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it's not there.
No attention, you don't have the right one.
If you can read it anyway. Oh, shout out to Thomas Larson. Excellent timing with your super chat, my friend. Wow. 100 Danish kroner, I believe. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Light is a disturbance in the ether, like rings in water. Nothing moves from A to B. It would violate the law of conservation of energy when it speeds up after going through glass. Okay. Maybe you could show us some ether? Then I might buy that. But thank you very much for the super chat.
Ether's a place for us to hide our problems. It's like dark energy and dark matter. It's the flat earthers version of dark energy. They may well...
No, it's a flat earthers version of quantum foam.
Quantum foam? Oh, they like their quantum, don't they? It's just hijacking that bit of science that's been attributed to quantum mechanics with scientific validity being used in everything. It's like turbo in the 80s. Turbo becomes meaning cool. You know, everything's turbo. My turbo aftershave. It's like everything's got to become quantum because they've got some science suddenly.
I used to watch this show called Quantum Leap when I was a kid. It was pretty awesome.
Quantum. I hope I don't get a copyright strike for humming Quantum Leap.
If it's that good, Nathan, the box will have picked that up.
Ether.
Is this a cover?
It's fine by me.
No, go ahead, Ted.
No, I said Ether, one of those songs were fine by me. But I
boom, boom!
Good job.
I've got your Bible verses up. Which one did you think it was? Because there's several.
Well, it's the same one with different translations. So if you go to the bottom, Young's literal translation says, "Where is this? The way light is apportioned, it scattereth an east wind over the earth." Is this the verse here? Was it your uncle? Or
Sounds about right. I'd have to double check, but yes, it is along those lines. And there's obviously going to be several passages, and he even mentioned that to me. It's like if you just find some random passage and start quoting it like it's proof of something, that's not necessarily the standard I would apply. I'd look for the same thing to be parroted in more than one place, preferably 3 or more, for me to take it as read.
well, the first one, the New King James Version on top. By the way, by what way is light diffused, or the east wind scattered over the earth? Like he's telling Job, how do you know how light works, Job? Do you even know how light works? That's basically God taunting Job there.
Isn't that weird? So only the other day I was telling our audience how PhD, Dr. John D, was in a bit of a tiz about the polarization of light. Well, this is a diffusion effect. So all of these are described in light, even though they're entropic effects that you can qualify and actually show happening. So in terms of, it's along the line of Thomas Larson's description of ether, actually, in terms of when you're talking about how sound propagates through air. Well, that's how kind of he's describing that. But you can show those effects. You can demonstrate those effects. You can measure those effects very easily. They've been measured for probably 100 years, in terms of acoustics at least. But that's a qualification of an effect of entropy, an entropic effect. There we go, got the word. Diffusion. Well, in this instance, it's saying, well, how does light diffuse? And when it came to that, for somebody who's bear in mind, PhD Dr. John D is a spectroscopy expert. That's what he's trained in, and he's aghast at how little is known about light and how much bullshit there is from the scientific community that's just peer-reviewed as opposed to scientifically valid. And it's just so stories. And he was aghast at this, which I obviously thought was quite amusing because, you know, that sort of journey is brilliant to watch. You know, someone far more educated than I going, oh my God, there's no science in this. You're like, yeah, that's right. Isn't it amazing? But yeah, so diffusion of light. Yeah, there's plenty of. You'll look it up if you're watching this now. Google it and see what you come up with, and maybe let us know in the comments how you get on. It's a very interesting subject to try and describe with entropic effects, and I don't think light works that way. Same with light being a wave traveling through ether. No offense to you, Thomas.
Nathan, are you trying to wave it past?
I'm giving it the hand wave dismissal.
Such a diffractionist.
I am.
Flat, sorry, don't cast a shadow on the conversation, please.
What's the speed of dark? What's the speed of dark again?
But think, wouldn't that imply that you don't have angular change?
What? Perspective? No, that's definitely going to be occurring, regardless of whether we can qualify it mathematically or describe it with language. As an entropic effect. Anyway, I just could do a quick shout out to James Richard again. Wow, he's really hitting the super chats. Thank you so much for all your support, James Richard. I really, really do appreciate it. Just put those guys on mute. In 1676, old Roma detected the speed of light by using the motion of the moons of Jupiter. Okay then, if you say so. Moons of Jupiter, you say?
Wow, was there a speed sign out there?
It's to do with IO, I think, popping in and out, popping behind and then popping out. I was just having a quick read. Basically, there's a discrepancy between how long it pops behind and how long it pops out afterwards. Now, if you assume that reason it's popping behind Jupiter is because of orbits, and then you apply that knowledge, viewing it from Earth, and taking into Earth's orbit account, you see the correlation between the two distances between Earth's orbit and Jupiter's orbit is different, and it's that differential that creates a different amount of time for the light to travel that then creates this differential effect in terms of the moons of Jupiter disappearing and emerging. I've only quickly read it, but that seems to be what they're basing this calculation on, and then
a presupposition of an orbit.
I'm just
So it's all
impressed.
ratio based again.
Just impressed that Adam was on it so quickly. And it's like, wow, super chat came in, and then within 15 seconds, I'm just reading about it now.
Sorry. Well, I'd
You're all
not
over
heard
it.
of it, so I was intrigued.
Perfect. Well, we might discuss it a little bit more in the after show, but with that, as I clear my throat, I'm going to say first and foremost, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, joined as a channel member, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and G Plus panel for making today's live show possible. Stay tuned if you're watching on a premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a lovely day! It's deep. This is deep.
I can try.
Chat verse 6 says, whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened, or who laid the cornerstone thereof, when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth as if it had issued out of the womb? That's some deep stuff there.
Notice he didn't say radius.
No. The cornerstone.
Hey, Adam, are you there?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, so I caught on something you said. So they see a fluctuation of one of the moons of Jupiter, and based on orbits, they come up with that, is what you were trying to say, right?
Yeah, roughly. It's saying, based on the premise that Io has an orbit of 42.5 hours around Jupiter, and then that creates, there you go, I'll read it quick. Io orbits Jupiter once every 42 hours, and the plane of its orbits is very close to the plane of Jupiter's orbit around the Sun. This means that it passes some of each orbit in the shadow of Jupiter, creating an eclipse, and it's this eclipse length that they're tying into a relationship between the distance between Earth and Jupiter on the orbits, and therefore then saying how that then they can use that to calculate the speed of light based on the differentials of the distance between us and Io at those points, I think.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question. What's an orbit?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's totally premise based. It appears to be linked, saying here as well, he's working with who does he say? Christian Huygens as well. I was writing to him a lot on.
None of this is correct. None of this is the actual origins of what they term as the speed of light. It's all wrong.
Someone's got a hot
origins.
mic.
Yeah, hot mic.
Someone's got a hot mic.
He's gone.
The actual origins.
Hold on 1 second. Hello, Alex. Can we help you?
Yeah,
Alex.
we're flat Earth debaters as well. I don't understand how long we've waited to be on this. Like I've got goosebumps. I've got butterflies. You know how long we've waited to be on this server. We're huge believers in the flat Earth, purely because. I played Minecraft. You know what? As well. Stream's over. Epstein didn't kill himself.
Kick him out.
You guys play Minecraft.
Yeah, a bunch of trolls.
Kick him out.
Excuse me, we're far from trolls.
Can we help you? What did you want?
Well,
They can't even help themselves.
if you want to prove that you're not a troll, you might want to clear up all the background noise you got. get on your microphone and actually make a coherent statement, right? So
like
we can hear you and we can understand you.
Like the Godfather.
Right?
You're giggling like a bunch of young kids who've just gone to buy their first packet of condoms. It's quite.
A while ago, there was this guy on Mount Everest. He took a selfie, and you could see the curvature. What do you have to say for that?
Okay. So when you say see curvature, what are you talking about? Are you talking about an assumption that the horizon is a physical? You don't need to interrupt me, my friend. I'm trying to respond to you. That means shut your mouths, all of you, cackling cowards. Shut up while I respond to you.
Be flat earth debaters.
I'm trying to respond to you. You've asked a question. Do you want the response or do you want to be a troll?
We want a response. Right?
Shut up then.
We have seen...
Shut up then, you dumb fuck.
We've seen evidence.
So you're not going to shut up, you dumb fuck. Well, I'll shut you up, you stupid little twat. And I'll tell you, you are assuming that the horizon is a physical sphere edge for boats to go over. That's called a reification fallacy. Did you hear my response? Did you hear my response?
Yeah, can I have your response, please?
I responded, you just didn't shut up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right.
shut up. Yeah, come on.
So...
I heard your question. I just need you to shut up. Are you this stupid? Do you think I can respond while you talk continually? You dumb shit. I need you to shut your mouth, you stupid idiot. That means shut up. Put yourself on mute while I respond to you, you dumb idiot.
This is a debate.
Hello? Put yourself on mute so you can hear the response.
You've got to understand our point.
I haven't got to understand anything. Get the fuck out, you stupid kids. Idiotic kids. You ask me a question, you say you want to hear a response, and then you won't shut up. Now get the fuck out. Idiots.
That's the attitude that they have all the answers and we're stupid. That's the word. We're just dumb flat earthers. But meanwhile, they have no proof of anything.
And can't work a microphone.
I love the fact
there's some giggling going on.
The way to prove it's a ball is to show the blue marble picture on your phone. It's solid that, boys. But more importantly, I mean, these guys are what, sixth formers or something like that. Great to see you guys. At least you're aware of it. You're starting to think about it. Some of them less cocky ones. This boy at the front is obviously having a think. And maybe, well, he was just gobby, weren't he? Hey, not prepared to listen. But boys, it's great to see you here. It's great to see you looking at it. And maybe when you can stop giggling so much, little girls, yeah, you could come and join us for an intelligent conversation. And maybe you could express why you think it is a ball. Flashing as a picture of the blue marble on somebody's cheap, knackered old iPhone ain't really solid proof, is it?
Problem, Adam, is they don't think there's any intelligence here. Believe me, I deal with it on a daily basis with my 17-year-old.
The problem is they're not prepared to find out. So they ask a question. Oh, we've got a picture of Earth curve. And you attempt to respond to them and point out that that's an assumption that the horizon is a physical edge for boats to fall over. How stupid are you, idiots? You think the horizon's an edge for boats to fall over? You bunch of clowns. But of course they can't hear that because they won't shut their mouths long enough to listen to the response. Let's see if they were listening to any of that. Hold on. Were you listening, lads?
Hello. Right. Excuse me, everybody.
Were you listening?
Right. So, we listened to your point. You know, you see, people, if the world is flat, completely flat.
Sorry, you haven't responded to what I've just said. You're asking a new question, you dumb shit. So you assume the horizon's an edge for boats to go over, you dumb shit. Not a new question. Try and respond to my rebuttal to your question about your mate's picture of an edge you think boats is going over. So you're going to address that or ask a new question?
Will a boat fall off the edge of the world?
In your model, it does, you dumb shit.
Wow.
You've just asserted that the horizon is a fucking edge, you dumb shit. So yeah, in your fucked up world of globe Earth, you think boats are going over that horizon, you dumb shit. So yeah, you think boats go over a fucking edge, you stupid moron. I don't, but I'm not a greasy fucktard like you.
When I actually slap their knee.
Here's my other point.
Not another point! You've got boats going over a fucking edge, you dumb shit! Are you going to address that? Your ludicrous assertion that boats go over a physical fucking horizon?
Is the moon...
So boats don't go over the edge then? Your crappy proof that your mate's got a picture of the edge is wrong then, shit for brains.
Boats.
Not listening, talking when you should be listening, so your scattergun approach of 5 questions doesn't flow here. We stick to the first question. Your mate thinks he saw an edge for boats to go over, you dipshit. Hello? Your mate thought he had a picture of an Earth curve edge for boats to go over. How stupid are you to think that that's an edge for boats to fall off, dickheads?
Can you repeat that again? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you got a fucking edge, you stupid spastics. You think boats fall over it. You got a calculator to calculate how much of the boats are blocked by your edge you think you've got a photo of. So you fuckwits have got an edge!
Fucking hell, mate. Can you say that a bit louder?
Yeah, I can tell you to suck my balls, because you haven't got a fucking rebuttal, have you, moron? You've got a question for me, though. You haven't got an address for your stupid claim that you've got a picture of an edge for boats to go over. You haven't got any response, just giggling and cackling while a flat earther teabags your nonsense. So not an edge then, dickheads! Not much of a response from you cackling idiots. Yes, stutter for me, you little bitch. Yeah, that's the taste of a flat earther's testicles. Teabagging you because you think the fucking horizon is an edge, you stupid little boy.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I've got a dick. That's you, a dickhead, talking to me about edges for boats to go over. That's my problem. I'm talking to morons. You are it. How do my balls taste, moron? Yeah, laugh it up, you fundy fuckwits. You don't have any responses. I've pointed out that you think the fucking horizon's an edge that you were asking me about. No, it isn't, dickheads. It's called a reification fallacy, and I'm pointing it out as a flat earther, handing you your asses as you giggle.
I don't think that, and the other...
Oh, don't you? So why did you ask me about the picture of the edge of the Earth that your mate's got then?
Are you on about the picture that I said with the selfie?
Yeah, what? Well, your question that I responded to while you all cackled through it. Yeah, about your question. You asked me about an edge that your mate's got on a picture, you stupid dick.
No, I didn't ask about that.
Oh, you didn't? It's not like this is being recorded, you dumb fuck.
Is this...
Yeah, we've got you asking me about the fucking edge you think boats going over, spastic. Yeah, we've got it recorded. Not so much of a chuckle anymore, right? You dumb fuck. Yeah, you asked us about the fucking Earth curve edge in a picture, and then I pointed out that you think the edge, a fucking edge for boats to go over, is represented by the fucking horizon. How dumb are you? Think boats falling over the horizon, you fucking idiot.
Can I ask my question now?
You've already asked about your picture with an edge that boats fall over, you dumb fuck. No, you're going to get repeatedly teabagged by a flat earther for an audience. I don't seem to hear any cackling fuckwits in the background laughing anymore.
Listen, Nathan.
I don't seem to hear any of the cackling fuckwit globehead morons laughing anymore. Guys in the background, how does it taste? This is the taste of a flat earther's balls in your fucking mouths. You don't seem to be laughing anymore.
Right, listen, Nathan.
No! You listen to me, you fuckwit. Your edge isn't represented by a horizon. The globe edge with boats falling over isn't where things converge. That'd be a horizon. You're just morons.
Makes sense. Yeah, no, I get it.
Don't tell me to do anything, you stupid dick. You don't have any control here, you stupid moron. Yeah? You're not producing this show telling me what's what. I'm telling you while I teabag your stupid assertions. No laughter then, fuckwits! Just nervous cackling, eh?
Ask you a question.
No, you can taste my balls. Not so fucking funny now, hey, fuckwits?
Get your balls out there.
Yeah, I have. I've teabagged you with them. You stupid idiots think that the horizon's a sphere edge for boats to fall over. What kind of clowns are we dealing with? Complete numpty morons, that's what.
No, Nathan.
Respectfully, can we ask a
Your
question?
sphere edge. You guys are not even slightly prepared for this.
Yeah, but
I've
don't realise.
I have got a question.
I know you have. You've got a question about the horizon being a sphere edge in a picture. And what's happened is you didn't expect a flat earther to take a giant steaming dump on your claim that you've got a picture of Earth curve edge as a horizon, you dumb fuck.
So if you think that the Earth's flat, is the moon...
Why are you asking me a new question? Don't you like being teabagged? Do you still think the horizon's a physical edge for boats to go over, dipshit?
Then I'm not asking you.
I'm asking you. Do you dumb fuck still think the horizon is a physical edge for boats to fall over?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, no, it isn't, mate. It's a point of convergence and not actual location. We've debunked that here. You'd know that if you were in the slightest bit prepared, but you're not. So you're getting teabagged by a flat earther for your abject stupidity.
Is this guy in charge?
Yeah, of you and your fundy fuckwit mates who aren't laughing anymore, are they? Oh, force some laughter out for me, you cackling twat. Yeah, that's not a rebuttal to your assumption that the horizon's an edge now, is it? You cackling fundy twat. Getting teabagged by a flat earther. Yeah, teabagged responds with a repetition isn't a rebuttal to my pointing out that you haven't got an edge represented by the horizon.
Nathan?
No response then, just my name. Yeah, say it, bitch.
Oh.
Say my name, you fundy bitch.
If we...
Yeah, stutter for me, you fundy bitch. Say my name and stutter for me like a fundy bitch.
Nathan.
Am I in charge? Yeah, you're damn right I am, you cackling bunch of twats.
Nathan.
Don't say my name anymore, little bitch. Now it's time for you to leave. You have nothing to offer here. You have been annihilated. Now fuck off.
Yeah, their questions were going to the moon. They were going to space.
Dicks.
Yeah, well, I don't know what made them think that we owed them any explanations or answers to questions anyway. What century are they in? We don't owe them anything.
They're bored. They're locked down. What are you going to do?
Maybe they should go look up the definition of horizon.
Correct.
I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed that immensely. Oh, are they back on a new sock? Sorry, is that your rebuttal?
What?
Is that your rebuttal to the horizon sphere edge you thought you had and laughed about? Is that your rebuttal?
If we funded you to go to space,
fuck off. Do you think you've just time for a new question for you stupid idiots? No! You haven't responded to my debunking your claim. It's just time to move on, because you can't respond to me. You've got nothing. Yeah, you get teabagged and think it's time for a new question to try and get a gotcha with me on. Nah, you've just been raped. Now fuck off. Yeah, they think it's a video game. Yeah, you get shot in the face, teabagged, and then they think they just get another life. And we get to ask new questions and fire a million shots into us. No, it doesn't work like that, dickheads. Yeah, you come, you make your stupid assertion with a lot of cackling, get absolutely annihilated by a flat earther, suddenly the giggling stops. Suddenly it's not so much fun anymore. Suddenly when I ask for a rebuttal, I get forced laughter and repetition of what I've said. Yeah, that's not rebuttal. That's not a good argument for your horizon with boats falling over it now, is it, dickheads? But you think you've got another opportunity to come and fire a few more questions at us? Nah, you can suck my nuts and enjoy the aftertaste.
They don't realize the roles have been reversed. We're in authority now.
Yeah, asking me if I'm in charge, you're damn right I am.
What makes them think that we'd have any interest in their questions anyway? I don't get that. They are making all kinds of assumptions about their questions and the answers they expect we should give them. We don't owe them anything. And their questions we have zero interest in.
They went right to the Black Swan with Horizon. It's dead. It's over.
Well, Adam did the right thing. He immediately recognised the reality of the situation. They've all got a chuckle about it because it's a bit embarrassing. They've stumbled across the subject and suddenly they've got a lot of questions, and that's why they're really here. Obviously, they want to hide behind the usual standard fare ridicule that we receive, just in case they're wrong. Yeah, but they've come across the subject and they need welcoming, and that's precisely what they got from Adam, before I teabag them all.
Good cop, bad cop. Dude. Exactly right.
Bad cop.
Definition of good cop, bad cop. Adam was the good cop. Nathan was
just
the...
a heads up.
I'm going to take yous all to jail.
For the future, it's probably not on the lives. Never mind, I'll talk to you about it later.
They're all a bit young. They've all had a bit too much to drink. Now, fuck off.
Well, a comment on Adam's initial comment. At least they came to a show where the rubber meets the road.
Was that
Yeah.
rubber meets the road in reference to them being like kids about to buy condoms?
Yes.
One's a good year, one's a very good year.
It was a very good
They're
year.
definitely curious, man.
Adam, just on that speed of light thing, that stuff that was read out earlier is not correct. That's not where the calculation comes from. That's not the origin of it. The origin of it is the pre-assumption that Kepler's analemma was correct, and we are moving around the sun at particular rates throughout the year, and that's why every time the distance to the sun changed, also so did the speed of light, because it originated with the pre-assumption that we're going around it, and it takes a certain amount of time for the sun's light to reach us. That's where the actual origin of it is. And the most ridiculous thing about the speed of light is that Kepler's analemma, after his time, it was claimed after his time that the reason we are supposed that the globe Earth is going around it faster, going around the sun faster in December and January, and slower in June and July, is due to the pull of gravity, as the force of attraction between the sun and the globe Earth is stronger when we're closer to it in December and January. But that whole force of attraction between masses was thrown out the window by Einstein in 1915. Yet he then uses the speed of light, which is based on that, in his famous E equals mc squared. And he also uses it as he claims that's the speed gravity moves at throughout the universe in his theory of general relativity. So it's a massive debunking circle.
So they
And it's
want
a
to
load
use
of
both
rubbish.
of them.
Well, yeah, well, he's using the origin of the speed of light is the pre-assumption that Kepler's analemma is correct. That's the origin of the speed of light. So the actual calculation starts there. It doesn't start with Huygens or anyone else. It starts with that pre-assumption. A lot of people don't know that. And then the claim after Kepler's time is that the reason we were supposedly going around the sun at different rates is due to the pull of gravity between the force of attraction between masses. But then 1915 comes along, Albert Einstein debunks all that. Well, it's all rubbish anyway, but he replaces all that, let's just say, and then he uses the speed of light in the theory of general relativity and within his famous E equals mc squared.
So if you
equation.
replaced it, why did they go back to it though?
But I don't know. Like, who knows why they do anything? But this is the joke of it. Albert Einstein is using something that's based on something that he replaced.
That's hilarious.
It's all a circle of nonsense. Yeah. Sorry, Chocolate?
No, I said that's hilarious, actually.
Yeah,
What do you think about that?
It's bizarre.
Just to answer Neil.
Let me debunk this, but let me use a part of it that, for something else that I just debunked.
Part that fits my narrative.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't even realize. Who knows? At the time, at first.
Well, that was
Maybe
kind of what
he
Neil
didn't
asked.
realize himself or didn't
I
think
was
about
going
it.
to say that's kind of what Neil asked.
Oh,
So yeah, what's the rhyme or reason? Well, there isn't any. You're talking about models and reifications and theories in the colloquial sense of the word. Well, there's no necessity to have any rhyme or reason other than it being capable of being explained. It doesn't even have to make sense, so long as people can parrot it back off. Not being a force, but you can think of it as a force is a good example. That doesn't make any sense, but so long as people can parrot that back, it's a response when someone asks, how is this holding gas pressure? Well, I think of it as a force. Well, that's not an answer. Well, yeah, it is. I answered you.
Yep, you hit it right in the head there.
Well, we don't necessarily have to work at the really is level if we don't want to, do we?
Well, they don't.
Well, that's
we
the
do.
magic trick. Remember, I was talking about the magician? We're the people in the crowd that see every trick the magicians do, and then we ruin the show.
So, Chocolate, the force that's not a force is a force?
Only if you think about it as such. I mean, just think about it and ta-da, force.
You're not thinking of it as a force, 10th. You need to think of it as a force.
That's
No,
sort
I
of
need
like
to feel.
hypnotic.
I need to feel the force and experience the force before I can think of it as a force.
May the force be with you all. Go in peace. In our you trust.
No, may the Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Go on, Ryan.
Schwartz.
Go on, Ryan. Or are you just hovering off mute?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just chuckling. I didn't know I was on. Sorry.
No worries.
Somebody was talking in the background.
Ryan, don't
They
worry.
were forcing themselves in.
Not a bad show for a Friday. Normally everyone's all worn out and not full of the kind of energy we had in today's show.
It's Friday the 13th.
We got some young energy today.
in 2020. Yeah, man.
Anybody
Friday
who's
13th,
got access to a TV still, not that I have, will get network TV playing Jason movies, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Meaningless,
I know.
arbitrary
I hate that
nonsense.
mask.
Say again, sorry?
Friday the 13th,
I
what makes
personally
it
said
so
I hate that
significant
mask.
is that, sorry?
Say
At
again in
some
Discord?
point, it was used as like an assassination day for a certain, I think for the Freemasons, and that's why they considered it as a grim day where everything went wrong. That's what I
Really?
remember.
Well, everybody's got masks on now. All we need is the knives.
Knives? What do we need?
More money combined throughout my life on Friday the 13th than everything else combined.
I think you mean machete.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jason uses machetes. Thank you very
All
much.
right, the machete. Excuse me. We use stilettos in Italy.
It's a cutting edge
Stilettos.
statement on a cutting edge show.
Well, that's actually not far from the truth because the original killer in Friday the 13th Part 1 is his mother. So stilettos, yeah, there's a link there.
No, I said
Yeah,
Italian
you're right,
use
you're right.
stilettos.
Have you seen the original Friday the 13th? It's got one of the best jump scares, second only to Carrie, the original.
Oh, the movie.
Oh,
yeah, the original
Nathan,
Friday
yes,
the 13th, right? It's got they hide who the killer is, and it's actually the mother. So the mother's taking revenge because her son drowned in Camp Crystal Lake, and she now wants to take revenge on the fornicating care workers that are there. The team workers that are supposed to be looking after the kids were the reason why her son drowned. So she takes revenge and goes around massacring the residents or temporary residents of Camp Crystal Lake. But right at the end of the movie, after they've managed to, take control of this woman and chop her head off, at that point, it's all very calm and she's floated out into the lake on this boat, and it's all very nice music. And then a tiny little child covered in swamp mess comes out of the lake and grabs her from behind, and then she wakes up in bed terrified in the hospital. But that particular moment is akin to the bit in Carrie when her hand comes out of the grave at the end of the movie. And
Yes.
it's just a mad jump scare.
Right. Yep, you're right.
That was a good one.
That was really good jump scares. That's when they're done correct, because you never forget them.
Yeah, Carrie and Friday the 13th Part 1, I will never forget those jump scares. They're cemented permanently in my mind from when I watched them as a kid.
But they work so good because they are kind of when it's already kind of over, and they don't overuse it throughout the movie, and then it works really well.
Exactly. Well, with that particular scene, there are semi-jump scene moments, but they're not overt. It's just you're waiting for something to happen, then it happens. Where in that particular instance, at the end, it's all finished. Nice music's playing, she's about to get rescued, and then the horror character of this little child from the lake comes out, and it's all the violins, the sharp, dun, 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 immediately contrasting the nice, gentle music, and it's just such a great scene.
And spiritually, they're
one.
reunited once again also.
There's another one, though, in Jaws, when that head comes out of the boat, that's pretty jumpy, too.
Yeah, kinda. It's no near as good.
That's a good one.
In Jaws, because that always got me. I didn't know where the head comes out of the freaking bottom of the window.
I don't know, Neil, why you brought
I
Italian
tell you a good
stuff.
one. Sorry, Tent.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't normally watch those movies, but I want to comment on Neil's comment about the Italian stilettos. Don't the victims there usually heal?
Oh my god!
So, interestingly enough, there's a scene in Jaws where they use the effect of foreshortening, and what they do is they're on a rail system with the camera, and what they do is they zoom in the camera's lens as they pull the camera body away from the shot. So there's a scene where he's on the beach as a lifeguard and he sees a woman. They broke her ribs doing that, by the way. They tied her to these two mechanisms that pulled her on ropes under the water. She nearly drowned in that scene. Anyway, he's watching it, and to show the shock and awe of him recognizing that there's a shark attack, they do that sort of, you lose the focus in the foreground but gain the resolution of the person. So it's pulling the camera away from the person while zooming in on the person. That's what they do. But that's an effect that we use the description of foreshortening when we're describing the diffraction limit, right?
Oh, you're talking about when Roy Schneider, like the camera, it seems like it's pulling him right to the scene?
Yeah, it's like,
No.
What it does is, no. It opens out the image, but it zooms in on him. So it's like, it creates the impression of focus. So it goes from him being with all of the outside periphery all in focus to a wider shot of the periphery, but focused and zoomed on him because they've pulled the camera away and zoomed in. So it makes the impression of him having the world come down around him in a very tight ball to make him focus on what he's looking at, which is the woman being yanked back and forth when they broke her ribs. So that particular method is a way of saying, look, he's getting focused.
I just put it in Masterpiece, the gif of it.
No, you got
Sorry,
two scenes mixed up. That one scene was the boy in the raft. You're talking about the scene in the beginning when the girl's getting attacked by the shark and holding on to the buoy.
Yeah, Neil is correct. It's the boy on the little raft.
The boy on the raft.
The
Alex boy.
Yeah.
No, but I've got the
Alex,
gift. Thank you, Chocolate. I'll just explain because you can't see it. So it's exactly that. It's got, for instance, there's a building next to him which comes into frame. So there's more stuff in the shot because they've pulled the camera away. But he's getting closer. So it looks like that he's focusing, basically. He's paying attention. And as the shot ends, he's starting to stand up. So it's obviously him getting focused, realizing what's happening, and then getting ready to take action. And it creates that with just the cinematography, just the movement of the camera does that. He's not actually doing anything until he goes to stand up right at the end of the shot. Very clever shot. It's using foreshortening. We detail these effects because they're optical effects and are directly relevant to the vanishing point, the horizon, diffraction limit, whatever you want to call it. This is relevant because it's an effect of foreshortening.
Correct. It was a great shot, though.
It is a great shot. I mean, it's just masterful.
Speaking of great shots.
Oh, go ahead, Brian. You were trying to say something while I butted in. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's one of the best. I don't want to say one of the best cinema moments I remember. Just because we were talking about scary movies, was the original Halloween movie when Jamie Lee Curtis is up on the landing of a house her friends were in, and it's dark, and she's after getting a fright by seeing her friend who was after being killed, and she's on the landing, and she had heard a noise, and she doesn't know where the noise came from or what went on, and it's dark on the landing, and you can see her, and in the background, just from the shadow, there's a slight movement forward of the person playing the Michael Myers character, and you just barely get to see just the whiteness of the mask. You just barely get to see the mask. It's like he just envelops in from the dark slightly into the light.
Do you know what the mask is?
It's a really, really brilliant shot because she doesn't know he's there.
You know what Mike Myers' mask is?
Right.
No,
yeah,
it's
what's his name? From
William
Star
Shatner.
William Shatner. It's a William Shatner mask.
Shatner mask.
Yeah, indeed.
No way.
Yeah, it's William Shatner mask. You look.
I am Captain Kirk.
Just before we round out 10th, did you want the last word?
No, I was going to say, if you want a shot of something, I posted a video. You remember I said I took a shot of the moon the other day? I got like a minute 28 second or something video. Just scroll up, you'll see it. If you want a shot.
Scroll up on Master B.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 10th man. Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah, it's on screen. We'll round out with that, and then I'll thank everyone for watching, etc. Or I'll have to resize it a bit because it's quite small, isn't it? But it's the beginning. It's only about a minute and 29, as I was just about to round out. Thank you so much.
Good way to keep him here, 10. Keep him rounding out these shows real quick lately.
Yeah, well, I'm forced to keep this up now, aren't I? Thank you.
These are the tricks they work out when you disappear early, Nathan.
Is that what they're all talking about when I watch their lines dancing up and down as I'm doing the outro?
4 more hours.
I guess that's it. That's
man.
That's a long gone thing, that 4 more hours.
No, occasionally. Yesterday we did a 3.5 hour show.
We did?
Yeah. God, you don't notice when the time flies, eh?
I was doing groceries somewhere in between, but it was still going after I came back. That was kind of surprising.
Right. Occasionally we do have 4 more hours.
Spazzed out on the virus.
Spazzed out, dude. I was speaking for everyone, and you know it.
Right, on that rather derogatory note, I'll say thank you to 10th Man for presenting the images on screen now. And of course, a massive thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. Of course, a massive thank you to all of you in either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.